It's 8 a.m. Live, local. Your Fox 29 Morning News starts now.
Plus, if you have a team, then you know having to talk about drugs and alcohol is a toughie ahead. We've got Darcy Sweeney live in the studio. She specializes in recovery and addiction. She has some tips on how to make those hard conversations a little smoother. Hi.
Hi, Darcy.
Good morning and welcome back. It's 8:43. You know, nobody really wants their kids to do drugs, but what can parents actually do to stop it? Joining us this morning is Darcy Sweeney. She specializes in recovery and addiction. And good to have you here. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, John.
First of all, you know, some parents don't really want to talk to their kids about their own personal experience with drugs, but you say it's okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Actually, what I say is talk to your children from a place of vulnerability. Because when you're willing to do that, your child will also be willing to do that. And that kind of clears the playing field so that they'll be willing to come to you again. It opens it up and opens up a dialogue of conversation that is so important.
But some parents just want their kids to think of them as being so perfect, and that's a major vulnerability right there.
You got it. You got it. But it's so important that they get that they can also be real. If the parent is being real, the child is going to be real as well.
Good point. Now, some parents just, you know, freak out when they hear that their kids are doing drugs. Tell us why that's not a good idea to freak out.
Yeah, it's really not, because what you're doing is you're beginning a dialogue where they feel safe. And once you've kind of cleared the ground for that and they feel safe, if you do freak out on them, it's going to shut them down. And it is so essential that you connect with them. There's a difference between talking to a child and connecting with a child. The goal is always to connect.
And it's so important, I think, because as a parent, you think, you know, that, okay, my kid's in a good school where, you know, there's no problems, but it could happen anywhere. It crosses all economic lines and everything else.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it affects everyone anywhere. Addiction can take over, and I see it. At the root of it is shame, and if you heal shame, you're going somewhere.
You're on the right track.
Yeah, you're on the right track, absolutely.
All right, so what do kids who have a drug problem need from parents, from the community, or just in general?
Great question. This is, you know, you'll say at-risk kids. It's really what they are starved for is emotional support. Someone at risk is full of shame, like I mentioned, and shame tells the individual that they're flawed and that there's something wrong with them. This child needs to know that they're valuable, and you do that by talking to them from here, not from here. You meet them at a heart level, and you let them know that they matter. And that's where it all begins.
You know, I'm listening to you intently because, I mean, my daughter's very young and, you know, not into drugs, hopefully. She's 8 years old. But, you know, you start thinking about these things as kids, I mean, 11, 12, 13 years old. We do these stories on the news all the time, and it scares the heck out of you.
It's really scary.
You know, so keep those lines of communication open and come from here, not from here so much.
You got it.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. Hopefully you folks will do the same thing. Darcy Sweeney, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Pleasure.
All right, Rox, back over to you.